Okay, happy Wednesday, everybody. It is October 25th, 2023, and you're at precisealgorithmtrading.com. Um, unless you ran across this video on our YouTube site, but yeah, prefer you go in through the website anyway. So here we go. The markets for today and how our automated trading systems did. This is the YM contract, and I think we're down a little bit for today. Um, if you add up all the trades, the 25th here, I mean, it's pretty sideways in the scheme of things, doesn't amount to much. But yeah, so I didn't add it all up, but when you look at the all in for today, the Russell's down a little bit. I think these two moves here. So we had no, three trades on the day today, and you know, like I say, trades like these negate those. So, in the scheme of things, it's not a big deal. The NASDAQ, on the other hand, I mean, is still cooking right along. It was positive, more positive than the other two systems. And so, I mean, it traded 18 times, I think I counted, and this is all of them. But all in, it was up, not a ton, but it was up for the day on a pretty bearish day in the markets. Actually a good thing. So um, that's why we trade like this, and there's really hardly any emotion in it. You turn it on, you check it out. The biggest emotion for me is when the computer uh, doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and computer systems are what they are. Sometimes they're a little fragile, sometimes but most of the time they cook along just fine. All right, let's flip to the markets. Thinkorswim. So the S&P is down again, pretty hard. We had a nice bounce yesterday, but it wasn't anything to write home about. And today we've negated yesterday and the previous bar. Um, you know, if you think about it, all this makes sense. We can't get. I mean, we had a little bit of up move a couple days ago or a few days ago. Can't get up above. That's why I have these alerts on here, by the way. Of course, I'm not going to be in front of the markets tomorrow, so none of this is going to matter. I'll get the alerts and not be able to act on them. Um, but we're going down on the hourly chart. You can't very well be going down on the hourly chart and expect to have the daily chart work out to the upside. So um, this is why it's you could actually be playing this stuff triggering right off the hourly if you wanted to. And you can see over here on the weekly that it is in the same direction. So this makes sense, the daily makes sense, and the weekly makes sense in context. Now, how far is it going to go? Well, the rubber band's going to bounce back. We are outside. No, we're not. We're right. I think I'd be getting an arrow down if we were outside the Bollinger Bands. So we are right on the Bollinger Bands. So, typically you get outside the Bollinger Bands, you get a snapback rally. It usually comes in a few days. It doesn't usually come all at once, and that's where we're at. That's why the Bollinger Bands are on here. We're pretty due for a snapback rally. This still looks pretty bearish for one candle. I think we're going to probably see some more bearishness on Thursday, and then possibly get that snapback, Thursday afternoon into Friday or something like that. And of course, we have the Fed next week, so maybe we'll have to wait until next week to get that snapback rally. All right, that's the S&P. Here is the Dow, down 105 points, which in the scheme of things, 105 points in the Dow is 0.32%. It's not much, and 100 points in the Dow used to be a lot. Now it's not. You can see it's stacking up here, consolidating in a sideways pattern, and is that to break up or to break down? Well, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you maintain your risk. And literally, like, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is your tradable instrument is the diamonds, so it's doing the same thing. And like I say, if you're in the diamonds and you want to be long, make sure you manage your risk. So, or at least understand it. If you're buy and hold, that's fine. That works too. Um, just on a long-term basis. All right, the Nasdaq was down 2.5% today, so that's rough. However, things like Microsoft, MSFT, that's after earnings, it's quite a bounce. So there's some good things along the way, and we can play earnings, or we can sit aside until we get a pullback, and then after earnings, and you can trade it in whichever direction the pullback makes sense. So, and the Russell, let's just pull up IWM, down 1.65%, so not near as bad as the Nasdaq. Only it's been going down a lot harder than the Nasdaq has, and again, but at some point we're going to snap back rally here. So, all right, oil was up 2% on the day. And I believe, well, let's look at it. The oil futures contract should be similar, but these two are not walking in tandem right now, so they're a little bit different and weird. So, but this one went up nicely too. So I'm assuming they're moving generally in the same direction. That's just the patterns look a little bit different, and that's unusual. So, the transports went down 2%, and we're outside the Bollinger Bands. So we'll be watching for some snapback rallies sometime soon. Alright, that's what I got there. Let's go over to the bullish percent indexes and go through those real quick. Here's the industrials. Tacked on 2 O's to the downside today. We're minus 10%. A move below and back above the 30 level is considered a potential buy signal. So that doesn't mean you can't go way below first, like it has here in these previous instances, and then get a rally. But if you look here, after it gets up above 30, it rallies pretty good, rolls over, and rallies even some more. This one got below 30 and put right back into it, and that's just at the beginning of 23. So even these, they bounced off of the 30 level. Like I say, there's nothing obviously guaranteed in that, but it's something to take note. And the NYA tacked on one more O to the downside. We're not below the 30 level yet. The transports went way down today. 42%. That's a big move. The NASDAQ tacked on a new O to the downside. It's at 28.97. The OEX minus 3%, sitting at the 30 level. And the NDX. So The story right now is hold on tight. One of these days we're going to get a snapback rally, and there's an adage in the markets that is the markets tend to go in one direction farther than you expect them ever to go, and then they bounce back and go in the other direction farther than you expect them to go again. So you keep that in the back of your mind. It makes you play the risk a little bit differently. It makes you a little bit more, it does for me anyway, aware, and it's kind of sets your expectations. So with that, that's what I got for tonight, guys. Hope it helps. Take care, good trading, and have a great night.